Hello and welcome to Dad's Job podcast. This is your host, Adam Leatherbarrow, and this is the original footballing podcast for dads by dads. I'm joined this week by Rob and Callum. Boys, how are we getting on?
Yeah, very good. You all right? How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. Have you enjoyed our play dates in the play area after work, which have been quite nice? We've only done it once, but we've enjoyed them.
Yeah, and then obviously getting abused from the window as well.
Oh, no ball games, remember?
Yeah,
So
no ball games in
my
the pub.
house. So for those that are listening, my house is directly overlooking the playground, and Cal was playing football with his boy Bo, and I opened the door, I opened the window, and I shut it down. I went, "Oi, no ball games!" And he actually shit himself. It's like, who the fuck's that? Then forgetting I lived opposite.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I just was like,
I did tremble. He was like,
I just did the odd hand signal. You know, the whole sign language that I know. Yeah,
you understand cold.
yeah. I don't know if it's no ball games there anyway. To be fair,
there's no signs, so it's all game.
I think you're allowed to throw eggs at houses around that way as well, from what I've heard.
Yeah, just not on where I live.
Yeah, just on 37. Yeah,
37
with the blue door, two cars outside.
That's Rob's house, isn't
it? Yeah.
That's not the colour of my door, mate. Thanks for involving me in the conversation, though, Adam. I appreciate that because 2 minutes in, you're sitting there stupidly at the camera. So thanks a lot.
That's all right. Well, I think you was working because it was.
Do you know what, Cal? That was the most natural introduction you've done so far. So well done. I'm proud of you.
Well, I was going to comment on how Adam nearly messed up on the speech. Do you notice that? I'm Adam Leatherbarrow, and I've got to do. We are the original podcast. I think he got it all the wrong way around, didn't he? He nearly bluffed his lines.
I did. I fluffed it.
He practiced that in the mirror.
Yeah,
that's it. I told you I got no mirrors.
You have a fresh trim, Adam.
I've had a fresh trim. Yeah. You know what? I was doing daddy daycare on Saturday, and I was repotting a lot of the plants. So I was putting a lot of compost in. So I'm going down and I'm helping Connie and sort all that. But my head went down, and Kerry took a picture of me and Connie doing the plants. And because my hair was a little bit long, it was thin, so you could see the bald spot. And I was like, "Oh, I need to get my hair cut."
You know what? Yeah, today, I got my hair cut today also. And I'm pleased with it. I'm very happy with it. He did a lovely job. And I went, can you just move the mirror up, please, just so I can see what the damage is, right? Yeah. And it was the one in Housestead. It was a Turkish basket. It was the Turkish barber in Housestead. And he moved it up for me. And it was like, I was like, oh. And he was like, yes, it's very bad. And I was like, hey.
Nah.
And I really like it in there. They look after me. They're a good barber.
Which one is it?
Callum?
Which Turkish is it?
Oh, it's called Prestige, isn't it? The one opposite the Sainsbury's.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, I really like it in there. Danny goes in there, like they're very good, and I enjoy it in there. We have a good chat. But the way he just absolutely killed me, I was like, mate, come on. And in truth, I appreciate his honesty because there was no lying. So, but yeah, no, it looks good though. It's a nice haircut, mate.
Thank you. I went in there and I said, I want a skin fade, but I don't want a skin fade. And he was like, yeah, but if I give you a skin fade, you're going to be bored. I went, yeah, I know, but I want a skin fade, but not. I want a long skin fade.
To be fair, mate, where does your hairline start? Because I'm not even sure. Like, is he taking it too far back? Callum.
Wow.
This is just gold, mate. I'm not even getting involved.
Mate, I wish I had my right hair. I must admit.
I thought you just shaved it all off. I didn't realise you had hair there, Adam.
Oh, you're too modest, guys. But just for those that are viewing,
I thought it was the shadow of the wall at the back.
This is what my bald spot looks like.
Oh no!
I know. Mate. That's why I've got to shave it, mate. That's prime Ginger Zidane. That is. Yeah.
Oh no.
Sorry to hear it, mate.
It's just downhill from there. It's
I
that.
mean, it was only at the back. Why has he done the front for?
Mate, I wish I could go to Turkey like you did.
Mate, I need to get to Turkey. I need to get there. Although apparently it's quite cheap in this country now.
Well, what with the tariffs going up? I mean, bloody hell, you could buy a whole new head if you went to America to get your hair done. But
I'm attached to just the airline, Adam. I'm quite attached to my face. Just the airline.
Yeah.
If it makes you feel better, I've got bad teeth, mate. I need to go to Turkey for my teeth.
Well, speaking of teeth, there's a new dentist opening up in Househead Town Centre, isn't there?
Yeah, I saw that.
£20 a month subscription.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so £20. I don't know what the rest of it means, but it's where the old Clintons was, Ad.
Oh, is that where it is?
Yeah,
that's interesting. But I heard they only do one appointment.
You get a free consultation, I know that.
No, they only do one time slot, I think. It's 2:30.
Oh, for God's sake.
Oh, it's fantastic. I'll tell you what. How long were we in? 6.5 minutes in. We're
6.5 minutes.
We're on the ball tonight.
That's it. I mean,
We've got receding airlines, losing teeth. Mate, we've had it all.
Mate, we've ticked all the dad criteria.
That's it.
Good job, mate.
You got shouted at for ball games. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Bold games.
Bold
game. Oh, bold game. Oh, I see.
Yes.
I'll just get my coat. I think I've done. I've just passed the torch over to Rob. There you go.
That's why we're both wearing green today, Ad, because we're green with envy for Callum's airline.
Yeah.
Well, just going professional for a moment. Talking of board games, yeah, that sort of leads us on to our little debate tonight, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's we've done the shaming part. So this week's topic is gaming and shaming. So we want to talk about the computer games that we grew up on, the games that our kids are starting to play now, and also the shaming moments of when we was playing those board games. I mean, if you've ever played Football Manager, there's going to be a few shaming content on this one. But yeah, I mean, Rob, do you want to lead on this? Where would you like to start on the gaming and shaming?
Yeah, I'll make a start. Listen, can we also hold 5 minutes? I know we allow 30 for this, but can we also hold 5 minutes? Because I wanted to have a debate with you guys about gaming, actually, that just kind of sprung to my mind as you were introducing the topic, Adam. Okay. But I'll save it until the last 5 minutes before I tell you what it is. Is that all right?
Sure.
Okay, brilliant. All right, so Callum and I, you as well, Ad, we were gaming in the 90s. And so I kind of feel like we kind of got the first bout of good technology that was coming out of, with the rise of the NES in the 80s and stuff like that. And I know there was gaming. Yeah, and I know there was gaming systems before that, but we were there for the N64, we were there for the PS1, we were there for the Dreamcast. Like, we were there for those consoles when they came out, and we were just like...
Mustn't forget the Sega Mega Drive. So
yeah, the Mega Drive. I was talking about, but the Mega Drive was still earlier in the 90s. Yeah. I'm talking about like the late 90s when we were 10 and 11. But yeah, no, absolutely. Sega Mega Drive, because I was going to talk about that as well. But I can remember, just to kind of, before I talk about games, I can remember we were playing the N64, and it was the Ocarina of Time, right? And I will talk about that. There's a special place for Zelda in my heart. But I remember looking and going, this is incredible. Like, he's so lifelike. Like, you can see his cheekbones, like, whatever. And you look at it back now and you're like, oh, it's come a long way over the last 30 years, hasn't it? Like, now Link practically looks real. Like, he could come out the screen, And back then we were playing the N64 and we were like, this is the greatest technology I've ever seen. This is the greatest technology known. This is like more impressive than the moon. Like, it was like unbelievable what we were experiencing in the night. And
it can't get better than this.
And then we also had our handheld. We had our Pokemon. We had like the Game Boy Color. We had all that as well. But I suppose I did make a list of games. Do you want to start with the Sega Mega Drive?
Yeah, let's go for the Sega Mega Drive. I mean, that was my first real game console that I was given for Christmas one year. And the games that come with it was Sonic the Hedgehog, Absolute banger.
Crash Bandicoot, mate. Crash Bandicoot.
Now that wasn't on the play. That wasn't Sega Mega Drive.
That's the console later. We'll get onto the PS1 though, Cal. I mean, you are younger than us, so you probably would never have known what Sega Mega Drive is.
No, but do you remember it had Sonic, Alex the Kid, right? I think
Alex
it was Alex
the Kid. Yeah.
And then probably, for me anyway, other than like the obvious Mortal Kombat, whatever, the two greatest games to grace the Sega Mega Drive, right? Streets of Rage, Golden Axe.
Oh, they ain't even in my top 5.
God, what? Streets of Rage.
I'll tell you what, right?
Golden Axe.
One game that you'll probably look at me and go, "You're weirdo," right? I mean, you look at me like that anyway. Yeah. But to be fair, it was I think it was Mickey Mouse Castle of Illusion.
Mate,
what an absolute game!
I used to go across the road. There was some flats
the
there.
apples. Yeah,
I mean, Anthony lived in there. We used to play that game. That's quite scary as well.
Yeah, it is.
I think I remember that game.
Yeah,
it is for a Disney game. Yeah, it was that one. FIFA 96, 95, 96, 97. 97 probably transitioned over to PS1 then. That was the first indoor football game. But yeah, I mean, I remember playing the Mega Drives on that. Michael Jackson's Moonwalker.
Yeah.
I mean, those sort of games were just classics, absolute classics. But there was another one. It will come to me, but I can't remember what the other one was that I used to play. Yeah, it was mainly FIFA. It was mainly Sonic. That was it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but it was the space one. I can't remember what it's called, but it's almost like a fighting game. It's like Mortal Kombat sort of thing, but it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'll Google it now.
Which one was Double Dragon on?
Double Dragon was probably on. I did have an Atari, to be fair, but I was too young to realise how it works. And that had Mortal Kombat and Leisure Suit Larry. Don't know why my dad gave me that game. I don't know. But yeah, there was that was those sort of games that was on there. I'm trying to find this Ninja Turtles game. Bear with me. Continue talking, and I'll find it.
All right. Okay, Cal.
Yeah.
Well, do you remember the times we used to have when we were playing like Streets of Rage, and we used to have to go across, and if you pressed the wrong button, your backup would come in, and all the bombs.
God!
And you'd be so furious. Or if you made it to the final boss, and I think he asked you to join him. And if you say yes, I think he drops you down to like level 2 again. You have to start all the way up, and you have to try and get to the final boss again. Oh man!
Yeah, I do remember these games, but I was like 5 and 6.
Probably.
I don't remember the Mickey Mouse game. To be fair, as soon as Adam mentioned it, I do remember him like sort of walking across like and it being scary because he used to wear the wizard hat, didn't he?
That's it, the Fantasia hat.
Yeah, Fantasia hat. I do remember that, but I do remember playing Mortal Kombat 100%. And obviously playing Street of Rage. I can't remember exactly the layout of how the games work. Do you know what I mean? But
found it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters. My God, what a game that was! What an absolute don't. Just beautiful game. But if you selected the same character, the Ninja Turtles will be green. But if the copy of it was like a red, so it was a red Ninja Turtle rather than a green one, and it was a bit special. Yeah.
Yes.
I wonder how much they would cost now to buy.
Oh, imagine getting the emulator up now. Well, you was talking about getting one of them classic retro sticks, weren't you, the other day?
Yeah. It would be cool to get that.
Yeah.
You said you can get them in IKEA, didn't you?
Yeah, I think you can buy one in IKEA. I do. I really do think you can buy one in IKEA. Or I saw it on I think it was like TikTok Shop or something like that. Yeah. But all right.
Okay, let's go into PlayStation N64 era.
Yeah, N6. Got to talk about the N64
because they were on the same sort of level. That and the not the Dreamcast. I think it was a bit later, wasn't it?
I think the PlayStation came after. I think the PlayStation came later than the 64.
I thought they were around about the same time.
Yeah, I think they're about the same, weren't
they? Weren't they competitive?
I think
PlayStation was 96. I think it came over to UK.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, N64, obviously, Ocarina of Time.
Golden Eye.
Golden Eye.
Oh, that is a game.
Oh,
and the shooting in that, mate.
The graphics
and you know what? By the way, before we talk about GoldenEye the game, the person who the person who does the music producer for that game, just casually dropped one of the coldest musical introductions of all time with GoldenEye. What an incredible soundtrack that game had! But the opening soundtrack for the game, the start menu, was an absolute banger. The best opening scroll. It was so good. It was chilling, mate. It was just set the game up so good. Are you trying to find it?
Trying to get it?
I just saw one graphic. I've got to bring it up. Hold on.
I know it's bad, isn't it?
Keep talking.
Like that, yeah. But honestly, at the time, we were just like, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened. Like that, Ocarina of Time, and you're just running around. But the best thing about it was it's the first time I can really remember playing like split screen.
Yeah, and you could play with other people. You could play 4 people in that game.
Yeah, 4 people on it, yeah.
Yeah, that was fantastic. You said that was like the first. Oh, my God.
Look at the graphics when you talk about the
I remember watching that and going, that's the best thing I've ever seen. That's the best thing I've ever seen.
It's not being at the films.
It's like being at the movies.
Oh, mate. The things we used to play and we used to get excited about is insane, isn't it? But
don't you think that's the first game, the first sort of game that brought multiplayer? I know that you could play like Street Fighter like 1 versus 1 or whatever, but the first time that you could actually have like multiple mates round and like all of you could play instead of like one's watching.
That was like that. No, but that's what it was like when we first played WCW NWO Revenge, and we could have 4 people playing wrestling at the same time.
Yeah,
and it was just Carnage Battle Royale. There was like 8 people in the ring, and we were like, no, was there 8? No, that was probably later. But I think you could have like 4 people in the ring, but they could all just be you lot. It could just be you and your mates just playing. Why are you ganging up on me? Like all this type of stuff.
Yeah, I remember.
He's bleeding. Like, oh God, they were such good times.
Saying like multiplayer games, I think that even on the Sega Mega Drive, I forgot this game. How did I forget this? Micro Machines.
The racing game.
The racing game, Micro Machines. But that game cartridge, right, because it was only 2 ports in the Mega Drive, right? So that game cartridge had 2 additional ports in the cartridge, so you could actually play 4 people at the same time.
That's
in Mega Drive.
But yeah, what a game that is. They got so creative with technology. I remember when the Game Boy Color came with a printer, and you could like, do you remember that? It had like a little. You could it came with like a camera thing, and it was like a game, but it was a camera. You could take pictures, and then it would print these like the worst pitch, like awful. But it was like I can take pictures of my Game Boy Color, so I'm going to do it. Like,
But talking about split screen though, Mario Kart's got to be up there with split screen.
Do you know what? Yeah, I loved Mario Kart, but I came to Mario Kart later because there was a game on the N64 called F-Zero X.
Yeah.
And it was like it wasn't like a racing game. It was like a hovering. Like you raced, but it was like a hover. You were like hovering rather than on wheels, I think.
Yeah.
And I remember playing that game, thinking this is incredible. And what
about the one on PlayStation though? Because there's a band that I absolutely loved, and especially being where we live now. The Prodigy, right?
Yeah.
There was a game on the PS1 called Wipeout 97, and it had Firestarter on it.
Did it?
What? And that was like F-Zero, but like 3D, and that was such a brilliant game. That was one of the first games I got.
Oh, mate, the PlayStation. Do you know what? The N64 is still probably my favorite console of all time. Right?
What was the wrestling game on N64?
WCW, NWO Revenge, and WWE No Mercy.
And WrestleMania 2000 as well.
Oh,
mate,
that was
tables, ladders, and chairs matches on them. Can't beat them. And the cage matches on them, you can't beat them.
No.
Absolutely.
And it was like, it moved. Do you know why I enjoyed WCW and the WWE No Mercy more than I did maybe some of the later games at times? Was they moved a little bit more like you would, like a little bit more like clunkily, like a human might. When it was like the SmackDown games on PlayStation, they were great, but everything was so fast. Whereas like on like if you got beaten up, if you were bleeding, you were like absolutely battered, mate. Like you were dead.
And the rounds were like that, weren't they?
Yeah.
No. I remember when you used to be the Undertaker or the Rock on them games. Like you could, as Rob just said, they actually punched like the wrestlers. And then once you got to the older games, it was almost like a video of it. So like you do a move, and then a video would come in of them doing the move, and it would take away from actually the game. So like it's almost like you'd stop playing for like 3 seconds while they did like their little film shot, and then you go back into it and it's like, oh, what is going on here, mate? That first lot of wrestling games, they made them right. And like I say, like the Rock used to do his proper like hand stuff, like and then they ruined it towards the end.
I mean, they're not. I mean, like I said, they're not bad games now, but it got so fast. And WCW and NWO Revenge, and then No Mercy, it was just a little bit more like I could imagine a human moving at this speed. Whereas like Just Bring It, I think it was called. Like you press triangle to run into the ropes, and it was like bloody Usain Bolt just straight in, and you're like everything was happening so fast. But
is a debate though, because obviously because we're footballing dads and we used to play football games a hell of a lot. FIFA or Pro Evo?
On the PlayStation 1, it was all about Pro Evo, right? On the PlayStation 2. But once it got to PS3, FIFA, I know that FIFA just absolutely blew it out of the water once we got to the PS3. But like back in the day, Pro Evolution Soccer was so good. But I think early days, they didn't have the rights to the name. So like Van Nistelrooy was like Van Nistelrooy or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Roberto Carlos was Roberto Larcos.
But I mean, Pro Evo early doors was in. Me and Callum used to play it, and we were like, this is FIFA does not touch it, and it didn't. Like, I can remember being on the back of the bus. We used to get the 86 to Romford to go to school, right? So we go from basically Stratford to Romford, and all people would be talking about is what they were doing on Pro Evo.
It's true.
Literally, I can remember. What was that boy? Was his name Chris?
What star rating you was playing at in the league? Like,
yeah.
5. It was actually 3.
Oh yeah, no one. If you were playing on 5, mate, you were like basically professional. Like, God, Pro Evo was so good.
Yeah, it was so good. The amount of rows it caused between me and my closest mates, the Clark family. Like, so we had Bradley and Scott, and we always used to have Pro Evo sessions, or let's have a Pro Evo sesh. There's always a sesh.
Me and Cam used to
it was ridiculous.
Yeah, straight up.
There's been times
throwing punches.
There's been time where Bradley and Scott would just be having a fight, or because Bradley would always be very good at it, and then Scott because he was a younger brother, he always got better and better and better, and he ended up beating him, and then Bradley just like went absolutely mental. And I'm just there, I'm like, can I just play with Zenden and Holland now, please?
Me and Callum used to do the equivalent of, you remember playing like Mario, right? And if Mario jumps over a gap and you press pause, and then Mario would fall down the hole, right? We used to do the equivalent of that to each other while we played like Pro Evo.
So if Rob was through on goal, like 1-1, hey, pause.
You can't.
It's so relatable because we used to do that.
But you can't do that now on FIFA. You can't just press pause on FIFA now. You have to wait till it goes out or whatever. If you've got the ball,
if they allowed it.
Oh, Callum used to be fighting. Oh dear! Listen, guys, I want to throw some games at you. We haven't mentioned them.
Go for it. Go on.
So, me and Callum used to love playing LMA Manager. LMA Manager was my first managerial experience. Like me and him would be like, "Oh, we're going to go in the 3rd division. We're going to get to Premier League." Like, I remember one time I got Gillingham to the Premier League. Like, it was just the players, man. And you said, "Oh God." Anime Manager was so good.
So-
I'd get myself in debt by promising these ridiculous, like, oh yeah, £10,000 scoring bonus. Yeah. Most prolific striker in Europe, 4 goals a game. Like,
And you used to be able to do the cheat where you have like infinity money. Do you remember
yeah,
that? Oh, mate. Do you know what, yeah, I played that LMA manager, right? When I broke my leg playing football and I was at home for 8 weeks, which wouldn't be allowed now, mate. You'd be fined the max for that. You know, I was at home for 8 weeks and sleeping on the settee. Do you remember that, Rob? Downstairs. Yeah. And literally, I ranked up like 40 years on LMA manager. Literally, it was so bad, Adam, right? We actually brought our bedroom TV downstairs so Dad could watch the normal TV, and then I would sit up all day long downstairs playing the computer. That's all I did for 8 weeks.
Man, sounds like heaven.
Time of your life, mate.
No, it was, yeah, mate. Literally, I had like 40 years on that game. It was ridiculous.
I mean, to get 8 hours a week now.
You're talking like that's big numbers, mate. There's people who play Championship Manager. They've had the same save for like their manager's like 300 years old.
So was you Champ Manager guys then when you had a PC or whatever?
No, to be fair, mate, I came to Championship Manager well late. We played LMA Manager. That was our game. And then Call of Duty, Command and Conquer. That was our game.
Mate, that on the PC. I'm sorry, if that was out now, I'd buy that now.
I'd buy
a PC to buy that now.
You can buy it now. You can go on Steam. You can go on Steam. You can buy it and play it.
Yeah. The land
laptop, whatever. It's Steam account, so basically it's like it downloads all the old Windows
online
games.
Gaming, yeah.
But mate, you can download it like no problem.
Did you guys know that one of the bad guys in the Command and Conquer games? I think you told me this. It was Ric Flair.
Yeah, Ric Flair was one of the commanders. Yeah, he had a blue camouflage suit.
Yeah. Did you tell me? Yeah.
I loved that game. That game was so, and you'd send them all out farming. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Like the things to go and get the thing. Oh my god!
And then you just buy like a million infantry and then just storm places. Just sacrifice. Just get in there, boys.
What about Theme Park?
Fantastic.
Or Theme Hospital, Theme Park, and Theme Hospital.
Oh my god! Yeah, I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
Like the original Sims, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Sims. That was always a PC sort of game. That one. But the theme park one, you build the roller coasters, but you build them too insane. And every time the little characters would get off, they'd throw up. It's just like puddles of sick every time because it was like, you get a warning, your ride is too intense. It's like, yeah, fuck that. Just keep going on it.
Me and Rob were talking about this earlier. There was this Outback game on the PC where you used to be able to go hunting. And you used to be able to use like rifles and bow and arrows. What's that called?
Deer Hunter, I think that's called.
Nah, Rob, what was he?
You played a gun. You played a game called Gun. That was a game you liked.
That was on PlayStation. That was.
Yeah. Oh no! It was like it was basically like you know that game Canam? Is that what it's called? Like the board game Canam, where you like have to build like civilization, and you're going from
Catan, isn't it?
Oh, Catan. It was basically like the PC version of Catan. You had to go across, and you were trying to.
You could fish on it as well, couldn't you?
Yeah, you could do all sorts of things. It's a good game, but it was like an early PC game.
Yeah, that was good.
So what games have you getting your kids into at the minute then?
Okay, hang on. Before we do that, guys, no one has mentioned Tony Hawk's Pro Skateboarder.
Oh god, yeah, great shout.
Where the hell have you been? Had the best soundtrack. It was just Offspring and like punk rock music. Oh, it was so good.
There was another game. I think it was called Skate or something. Or
no, you can't bring that up.
No, it was a competitive Tony Hawk's game, which I actually quite liked. But I thought the music was even better because it had like the old school hip hop music in it as well. It was like
we were pop punkers. We loved pop punk, so
I loved it as well. I loved it as well. Yeah, I mean they're talking about putting Bam Margera in the new Tony Hawk's Skater 3 and 4 now because obviously there's been a lot of debate about it. That's for another conversation. But Bam Margera is apparently going to be in the new Tony Hawk's remake. Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful news.
Yeah, I mean, mate, just saying Bam Margera, that is my childhood TV in a nutshell in terms of watching Jackass and that. But again,
this
is a next week sort of thing.
Next week, TV shows they couldn't make now. All right.
Yeah.
One comes to my mind straight in my head.
No, I've got one as well. But we're probably thinking the same one. A couple of boys 100%. From Wales. We'll talk about it, right?
I know what you're on about.
But actually, Adam, this kind of leads me into the debate I wanted to have with you guys, right? I have an 11-year-old, so he's gaming, right? One of the things that I do think is quite sad, right, is that although online gaming has massively opened up, like, community and maybe for like and people being able to chat to each other, have fun. For introverted people, I think it's incredible. Like, I love online gaming when I can. I online game with my mates. Like, I don't online game with my mates enough because it's nice to catch up, chat a bit of crap, and play computer games. Right?
That's you're the only one that's married.
No. Oh, I see what you mean. I see what you did there. No. All right. Okay. And then but what I do think is quite sad is like Danny loves Fortnite, right? Which is fine, right? I get it, all of the things. But what I think is quite sad is that when we played games, we were playing storylines. Like, we were invested in a story. Like, other than maybe like Tony Hawk's, but even like Mortal Kombat, you had a story. Street Fighter, which we didn't mention, you had a story.
Zelda,
like there was all these incredible stories that
Final Fantasy had.
Final
Fantasy 7, yeah.
Dragon Force or whatever it's called. Like, all these stories we were investing our time in, and I do think that was quite an important thing, right? And I just think it's quite sad that I think some of that has been lost because people don't play. People want to play the online games, but then Call of Duty always comes with a storyline. But how many people actually play the storyline? They just play Warzone.
Oh, Medal of Honor was another game. Sorry,
I actually had Medal of Honor written down.
Yeah.
I had that written down.
But, I think the debate with that is the fact that I think game makers have clocked on the fact that they've made classic games by having a story which ends, and now it's about making money. So now you can play a game without it ever really finishing. There's always an update. There's always something happening.
Or starting, really.
I mean, with Fortnite, you play your game, you do your rounds and stuff like that. Then there's a patch update, and there's a new map. There's a new map. There's a new map. It just never stops, and that's the issue with it. Whereas now you get games like say for instance 2K25. That's a storyline completion game, and then you play online after that. But in Fortnite, there is no narrative to it. It's just you go out there, you go and play, and kids are hooked because it's like, I just want more and more and more and more and more. And if they want more, the developers are going to give more and never stop it. So if they know that they're getting a cash cow, then they're just going to roll with it. But
the thing is, because Fortnite's free, right? But if you want to add on to it, that's when it costs you money.
Yeah,
and if anything, it ends up costing you more than a traditional game would, because every time there's an update, there's a new skin or whatever. But I mean, I don't really have an issue with that, because I think, people who can afford it can, and people who can't afford that kind of the extra stuff can still get a good experience of the game, which I think is great, right? But what I think is sad is that people aren't engaging and investing their time in the storylines, because when you completed, what's the easy one?
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, when you complete Assassin's Creed or Grand Theft Auto, none of us spoke about Grand Theft Auto. You completed San Andreas, you were like, I did it. I did it, mate. I completed Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. And it was like the biggest game ever at the time, wasn't it? And if you were one of the people who actually completed it, like, there was like a level of like prestige there that was like more than any of the stars that you could get for upsetting the police in Grand Theft Auto. Like, you completed Grand Theft Auto.
Well, it's like Pokemon, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Once you complete Pokemon, that was, do you mean?
That was it,
epic.
I just think it's sad because kids don't have to show, well, not kids, but gamers today then just don't have to have that kind of same resilience, because, GG, next game. Like,
yeah.
And I just think that's a bit of a shame, because like when we were playing those games, there was like a real kind of like, I mean, there'll still be people saying gaming is wrong or whatever.
Oh my god! I've just remembered the game I used to play on Mega Drive, NBA Jam.
Nah, mate, never played.
Oh my god! What a game! You know what? I actually download emulators and buy that and play that. Sorry, it just comes to my head.
I think Rob's onto a good point. It's almost like kids don't have the capacity to want to complete it. Anything maybe not anything anymore, but like I remember going, like as you say, like dying or losing on a boss, and then having to go, like you'd have to start all the way again, or whatever it might be, or how many times did we save it before we went into a boss, and then you'd lose to get the boss, you had to turn off the computer to start all over again. But that meant so much, and like, as you just said, like once you complete the game, like I got like 98% on gun. Yeah, I literally, the only thing I didn't find was like one like gold nugget that you had to dig up, and I couldn't find it. I don't know where the hell it was. I couldn't find it, but I got 98% on gun, and all like, mate, that was like one of the biggest things at that time. I was like, mate, I was going around telling people. Where, as you just said, like what did like kids? Oh, yeah, I was on the computer for 2 hours last night, and I like died 3 times or whatever. Like, what are they getting out of it? I don't see. Like the pride, or I don't know. I do think Robbie hit now in the head.
Give me Metal Gear Solid over Fortnite any day of the week. That's all I can say.
No, I think James Bond still beats all of them.
Yeah, GoldenEye.
GoldenEye still beats all of them.
There was one good game that because I bought myself a Switch when I was traveling on the road because I was staying away in hotels and whatever, and I bought myself a Switch. And one of the games that came out, and there was a game called Hollow Knight, and I racked up insane numbers on that game. It was the first game I've played in like 20 years where I was like, "There's a storyline here. Like this is captivating. Like this is incredible."
Doesn't
do you know what it was?
Carly next door to you.
She got into it as well.
Yeah.
Right, but it was basically it was 2D. It was just a 2D. It was a standard. What do you call it? Metro.
2.5D thing, isn't it?
Yeah, was it Metroid Mania, something like that? So they all came from the Metroid unit, like inspiration. I think it's called Metroid Mania or something like that. And it's all just 2D. But and the map gets bigger as you get better at the game. Oh my words, that game had me. That game was incredible. But yeah.
So what's your kids playing? Obviously, Danny's playing Fortnite, but what about our youngsters? I mean, obviously the games, they're not really playing computer games at the minute, are they? I mean, I know Connie's got a Fire Kindle thing, and she plays like a Bluey jigsaw puzzle game on there, but that's probably the limit, the most that she goes to. But what's your kids playing at the minute? Like Alea and Bo.
Alea doesn't really play with screens. She has got I think she's got a leapfrog, but she's not really.
I meant like board games sort of thing.
Board games. I've been trying to teach Danny chess, and I tried to teach Alea drafts recently. We got those like the early learning. They're not. I know it's not called early learning center anymore, but like those early like learning games, and she likes to do like the when you have to turn them over and match them. Yeah. And there's this one called there's a Santa one. Even we play it all year. Like there's this Santa one, and you have to try and build your sleigh up, and then you get to turn over one with a Rudolph, and if you turn over a Rudolph, you win the game. And she still loves that. So yeah.
What about Bo?
Bo is he's playing Snap. He plays Snap, Pairs. So card games, but he likes snakes and ladders. He gets snakes and ladders. Like obviously, snakes should go down. Obviously, ladders should go up. Yeah. He likes that. I mean, don't get me wrong. He definitely cheats and he just moves his thing wherever he likes. I have to say no. That's like 3 moves, mate.
The snake.
Yeah. He does try it, but he actually does enjoy that. Again,
what about the classic games like Hungry Hippos?
Oh, we got Hungry Hippos, yeah. We play Hungry Hippos, yeah.
Or was it Elf? What's the Elf Donuts in it?
Oh God, yeah, I can't remember that. She plays Jenga. She played Jenga a few times.
Oh yeah, Bo plays Jenga. Good shout. Yeah, Bo does Jenga. Yeah.
I haven't got that actually. I might actually try and get that. I think Connie would like that. I should just love it falling.
Can I give you some advice? Buy the legit Jenga. Don't buy the knockoff Nigel one because the knockoff Nigel one doesn't pull as well. Got to buy the proper Jenga.
That sounded so wrong.
Spend only because only you.
No, anyone listening.
Spend
the excess £15. Yeah.
Spend £20 on Jenga. Don't buy the knockoff Nigel one.
Did you have the Uno Jenga?
No, but Danny likes Uno. Danny
Yeah,
really likes.
Uno.
Danny
Yeah,
plays
that causes rows in this house. Uno.
Talking about rows, board games and Callum. Don't play Monopoly with Callum. He's a bellend.
Everyone hates the winner.
Mate, you didn't win.
Everyone hates the winner.
He was
Everyone
in debt.
hates it. Listen,
What's that mean? What's that mean?
He owed everyone money and he basically refused to sell his properties.
Right, Adam, in the
Sounds
rules
like
of,
someone I know.
right, Adam, in the rules, right, of Monopoly, right, I wasn't in debt. Basically, I owed Rob money, yeah, because obviously I owned one of his properties. So, in Monopoly, you have the choice, yeah. So I said to Rob, I can give you, this is what I can give you, right? Say this amount of money and these two things that I was willing to give him, right? And he was like, no, I don't want that. I want that, right? But if I gave him that, if I gave him the other two things that he wanted, or whatever it was, basically he was going to win the game. I was like, well, fine. Fine. If you don't want to do the deal that I've offered you, yeah. I went, right. So I looked, say it was Heather.
No, sorry, mate. Listen,
hold on. Let me tell the story. Yeah.
Hold on,
so
we're
then I
shaming
went,
now.
so Adam, so then I went, right, Heather, do you want to buy these for this amount of money? Because then I've got all the money that Rob wants.
Hang on, this is
Right.
recent, is it?
Yeah. Last
years
year,
ago.
2 years ago. Yeah, 2
About
years
10
ago.
years
2
ago.
years ago.
About 10
so
years ago.
listen,
I've played it since.
So if I said, so I went, right, Heather, do you want to buy these off me? And then I've got all Rob's money, and then he's got nothing to moan about. So that's what I did. And then Rob moaned and literally threw the board up in the air because I would not do the deal.
I would never do that.
I would not do the deal. You did throw it up in the air.
I definitely didn't throw it up in the air.
We're asked Heather.
I definitely didn't throw it up in the air because I would have wanted to win. And then
I'm gonna diffuse this. I'm gonna diffuse this because we need to shoot off because we're gonna go.
All right.
Hold on.
If a guy came to your door and was like, "Listen, mate, I've been sent here by the retrieval company because you owe us money," you can't be like, "Oh, don't take the TV. I'll give you these instead." No, man.
Yeah, they do. Have you not watched it on Channel 5?
Don't take the TV.
They go, listen.
I've got some.
Don't worry. Take. Yeah, they do. They go take the car instead. Don't take the ass stuff. Take the car. Go on, take the car. It's on lease anyway. Take the car.
Anyway, guys, thanks for recording part 1 of Gaming and Shaming. If those that are listening, you can jump over to our YouTube channel and you can find our live recorded stream that we're going to do straight after this. But
hang on.
You
didn't talk about our action figures.
We'll do. I think we'll do that in the live. If those want to see our action figures, let's do it in the live stream.
Nice.
Part 2. We'll give you a little morsel. So if anyone's been doing AI figurines on ChatGPT, know exactly what we're talking about. So join us for part 2 on that. But guys, thanks again for chatting. Next week we'll talk about TV programs we watched as a child and what our children are watching. So thanks again, and see you on the next side.